Run. You see that they immediately start talking and rush into each other, and and then he looks back to you guys and he says, "This could explain a lot." He says, "We have something extremely."
Video completely died on me for a couple seconds.
Oh, okay. There you go. All right. He says something very serious just happened to the cairn.
Is he talking to all of us?
Yeah.
All right, I stop and listen from a distance.
Yeah. That doesn't exactly narrow it down.
And he looks to the Silver Fangs, and he says, "Do you recall a town nearby?" And you see that Nikolai, who's the old probably Sept leader, says, "Yes, we remember that small town that we had some of our kinfolk living in right outside to protect us." He said, Hardstone says, he says, our secrets have been laid out. He's trying to say it in as human words as possible. And Nana Boshar says, what are you talking about? And he says, "We're not a secret anymore."
Harrogate's exposed. Anybody can find it now?
She says, "Yeah, we knew this was going to happen, but now I'm..." "What do you mean?" And she says, "We're on the other side of the river." So basically, Nana Boshar says, when Harrogate first disappeared, we went looking for it right outside of Gold Springs because that's where it was supposed. That was the rumored of where it was 17 years ago. Once it was hidden from that storm that we saved, that Enoch died saving it from, that barrier, that secrecy, that the spirit that kept it safe while it was being kind of healed, now that it's fallen away. She says, she looks like at Hardstone. She goes, "Let's get back. Let's go. Let's get back to Harrogate. I think we have to see it to understand it." She looks at all of you. It's just we all need to get back.
Don't we
need to get back to Joe?
Don't we have a bigger concern right now than Harrogate?
It's on the way. And Harrogate is what this storm is heading towards.
Wait, Harrogate's on the way back to Gold Springs?
No, it's on the way to the Harrogate.
Gold Springs is on the way to Harrogate. Okay, that makes more sense.
Oh, I thought we were in Gold Springs now.
Yeah, because
no, you guys are outside. You guys are outside of Gold Springs at Enoch still.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's just right outside of town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Barney, you can correct me if I'm kind of jumping out here with being wrong with location. Well, what about Gold Springs, since it looks like it's about to get hit?
So yeah, you have the county map here. So basically, if you guys look at the little county map I drew in between right above the map of Harrogate, you see it?
Yep.
So you got Harrogate there. Devil's Edge Mine is actually the mine where the Harrogate is, not the town, but
Okay.
and that's Gold Springs there. And then so remember, this was like a 3 or 4 hour trip to go up there. Devil's Edge Mine was like another hour kind of up. If you're riding horses. You guys get into Gold Springs, as you guys getting into the edge of town, remember there's a river that kind of flows outside of town. That's a path. But there's a river that flows behind Gold Springs and kind of goes all the way through Harmony Gorge. So remember that was that river where you cross the river over Gold Springs. And there was that river that was also where the bodies were floating in Sunny Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the ladies.
Yeah, with all the ladies.
Yeah.
And it was the same river that goes through Harmony Gorge, which is that place where you guys saw the bird-headed woman and all the ghosts. That was the destroyed village where Dale's wife was from. Same river. So you guys all get into on the edge of Gold Springs on your way back from Enoch Still. Roll your perception alertness difficulty of a 5. This is more of just a role-playing point of view to just notice the obvious.
Okay. I just realized about Dale's moonshine, all my perception rolls are like 2 more difficulty.
You guys, I'll let you guys have Dale's last drink of moonshine, sure.
Okay.
Complete success.
You said that a 5, right?
Yeah.
Wow, both of us got completes. Ugh, tough crowd.
I didn't botch though. Yeah.
Which is important.
You see.
Who's upset about Enoch?
Wait, did you really get you totally? Oh yeah, wow. Yeah, Woo, you're stuck at watching the town kind of staring off on the other side of the river. You're just more noticing about the people who aren't kind of noticing, like are staring off across the river like 2 miles away. The complete successes for Phil and Bob. You see Harrogate directly on the other side of the river. Your cairn, the cairn of Harrogate, is not 3 miles away, 3 hours away.
Well, that's peculiar.
Nana Boshar says she's cursing. She says, "This is what we did. We invariably uncovered Harrogate, and the fact it was protected, it was always right across the river. But anytime we were going there, based off of its secrecy, we were going around in circles for 3 hours until we came there. It was always been there. And now everybody can see it because of what we did. Saving the. She said she kind of looks at you guys. Goes, this is what I was telling you about. This is what would have happened. Us saving them has now put the entire cairn smack dab in front of 200 or so humans.
Well, the storms are going to kill most of them anyway.
I'll just bite my tongue for the moment. I'll visibly want to say something, but just not bothering.
Wu will say that. Wu's feeling a little morbid right now. He just lost his buddy. And he's afraid he's going to lose Joe, too, his other buddy.
More glory in protecting places that aren't hidden.
You see, you see Francesca's on the other side of the river, looking extremely confused.
I'll wave.
You hear somebody yell out, "There's a goddamn wolf over there!" And Hearthstone just makes a beeline out into the bushes because he has other things to worry about right now.
Well, I guess I'd say that this is kind of funny.
There's a slight southern breeze coming through now. Very small, enough to blow some paper around, but that's about it.
There's a storm coming in from the south.
Yeah.
Is it overcast at least?
It's getting there.
Score.
You don't have to use your parasol.
So does this change plans?
She's actual Joe is still here. We need to. Nana Boshar says he still needs to go.
All right, I need to get going then. And
I'll go get Joe. Where should I meet you?
he's not going to want to see me, so I'm going to hide. I guess get him down in the cave, and the Weavers are coming with us, right? Because they have
they have to sew the gate shut.
All right. Why don't you ladies come on with me?
They take off ahead of they go over you. Viola stops and looks and walks over to you, Phil.
Going to close the gate, I guess.
She says, "There's a very strong chance that I will survive."
That I will survive?
Yes. Yeah, that's what she says. And then once that happens, I'll be leaving anyway.
Oh, it's definitely been a pleasure.
She gives you a wooden box.
With
that like a ribbon tied around it.
All
and
right.
She says,
So it's not a euphemism for dry pussy?
Oh, Brian, take 2 experience. Sounds good.
She says, if you're about to die, open this. If you live, then open it after.
All right, I guess we'll be opening it after all this is done, right?
You know, her as an Anasazi don't really show emotion unless she's faking it. So.
All right, I'll see you after you close the gate and after I save this town for the 4th time.
Here's something pretty important, Barney. I look around and see if my father is there. Does he not show up for the big soccer game? No.
No, because he's the third. He's going to have to be the one to help open the gate. So.
Oh, okay.
Do we play little cats in the cradle in the background? Is anyone not going to close the gate other than me?
I think you're the. Everybody roll your perception alertness difficulty of 7. 6. Make it a 6.
Yeah, just keep lowering the difficulties every time. That'll be awesome.
Phil, that makes sense. Okay.
I'm on fire, man.
You are on fire. Okay, both of you guys see you get this really weird vibe coming in from the backside of where the backside of the Gold Springs. Bob and Woo, you just kind of get a weird vibe. And Phil, 5 successes. You see I wish I had a picture of him because it would be funny if I just pulled up his picture now. You see Ben Grabish.
Oh God.
Showing up with a look of utter confusion on his face as he's coming in with a wagon that's full of crates. Ben Grabish, Sag, remember Ben Grabish?
Yeah, he's the Iron Rider from
the Iron Rider, the Galliard, Iron Rider Galliard, who actually was the one that was in charge of Gold Springs, while everybody else used to be based out of Harrogate.
Oh, that is okay.
Yeah, he was the guy that kept getting in trouble all the time.
Is an Iron Rider what?
Iron Rider Galliard. He was like the only one that was like living in Gold Springs last season. That was like he was one that was telling you guys all about the technocracy that was there. So he shows up and he's looking like extremely confused. And he's like mouthing like that, like WTF, looking at you guys. I'm gone for 5 months, and what the hell is going on? He kind of waves you guys over, and he brings the wagon. He brings his wagon and parks it behind his Grabish and Sons General Goods store.
Hey, Ben.
He says, "Do you remember you guys sent me to go find out where these came from?" And he was holding up the little Greek statue.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I had a friend in Detroit, and he motions over to Bob, Judge Cooper. He made a few inquiries and gave me this. And he cracked open one of the crates, and you see there's about 5 large wooden crates in there, and they're full of those tiny Greek statues. They're like covered in with like, hay and straw and stuff that they used for packing back then. But a lot of good it's doing us now with why is Harrogate right there?
That's a really long story. You might want to be more concerned about that, and I'll point out the Maelstrom coming.
We built an exact replica of Harrogate. It's like Blazing Saddles.
It's just a model. All right, so what's the plan?
I think the plan is to get actual Joe into a gate, and
actual Joe is a Bane mummy. Apparently, the magnet for this storm.
Yeah, to get actual Joe into a gate, to have the storm follow it, and for some of us to do damage control, I guess.
Yeah, and no, he's not actually a Bane mummy. He's just a mummy that's forgotten who he is.
Yeah, he's a Bane mummy.
and the Bane mummy is basically kind of like throwing the storm at Joe, right?
Amalfian is throwing the storm at Joe.
Okay. Then what's the Bane mummy doing? Because there's a Bane mummy.
There was a Bane mummy. Cedric Seaport was a Bane mummy. And so was that other one that you guys killed, that Adam's character killed. And, okay, and so he says, so the storm, so you guys, he says, so we have to do something with the mummy then.
We found the Harrow Gate.
All right.
Not the cairn, the gate.
The actual gate. We're going to channel the storm into the gate.
I am completely lost, and we don't have a lot of time. What do you need me to do?
I think you and I are staying behind and trying to limit the damage. Because I'm guessing it's not just a storm coming in.
He looks at and he goes, he gets distracted again. That build, he starts looking at all the new buildings that have popped up since he left 5 months ago.
Yeah, I've been doing good here.
All right. We need to get all of these. We need to get all these people safe.
And we need to keep the people safe and save whatever we can from the cairn.
And all right, and then you guys, and then all right, we'll do that. Nana Boshar motions over to Wu and Bob. We gotta go.
I've been trying to leave. I scurry off.
Okay.
Yeah. So as Bob leaves, I head for actual Joe's hotel room.
All right. You walk up into actual Joe's hotel room, and you see him oddly quiet. He's rocking back and forth, muttering to himself. He's usually. It looks like he has he looks like he's on the verge of panic.
I knock on the door, let myself in. Hey, old friend.
He goes, something's not right. Something's not. He keeps repeating that over and over again. Then he starts talking in a language you've never heard before, muttering to himself, and he has a look of panic on his face.
And that's why I'm here. You're right. Something isn't right, but I'm here to get you someplace safe.
Roll your charisma subterfuge.
Okay. I actually have.
Do you have a
persuasion?
Gift? Persuasion?
Yeah.
All right. Activate that.
So that's also charisma subterfuge. Difficulty of a 6.
You got to spend something for that?
No. It just reduces all social rolls by 1 for the scene.
Okay.
So let me do that real quick. So charisma, subterfuge, card. Oh, there it is. All right, sorry. Okay, so 3 10s. 2 successes on persuasion roll, so -2 difficulty.
Okay. All right. Roll your charisma subterfuge then.
At a difficulty of.
Let's say a 7. So it'll be 5.
7 -2, so 5.
Yeah. Nice.
Nice.
He looks up at you and he kind of makes eye contact with you and he kind of feels a little bit at ease a bit. And he says, yeah, Woo, you're my friend. You're my friend. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, always your friend, buddy.
Yeah,
on,
let's go.
Yeah, I know exactly where we need to go. I got everything handled for us, okay? Just follow me.
Roll your stamina. Difficulty of a 6.
What?
While I do that, let me just call Aaron real quick.
Difficulty of a 6. Nothing. Woo just died.
It'll be awesome when we'll be standing at the Harrogate. No one shows up.
Like, so crazy weather we're having, huh?
Barney, we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. I was gonna say it's like you hear, as you said that sag, it's like Girl from Ipanema is playing in the background. As you're like, Woo, you take 1 point of non-aggravated damage as you get thrown against the wall by an invisible force. Actual Joe starts rocking back and forth violently as he's getting towards as he's at the doorway of his hotel room, and he starts saying something in a language you don't recognize, and he starts shaking his head.
I will grab him, basically pick him up and throw him over my shoulder.
Okay. All right. You pick him up, throw him over your shoulder, roll your stamina 2 times as your 2 rounds of you running down the stairs.
Jesus.
Dude, he's going to kill. Actual Joe may kill you.
So I heal up every round, right, as a werewolf? So I actually go. So is this the next round I go back to 0?
Yes.
Okay.
Technically, you take a turn to heal, but just for the sake of the story, you just do it.
Right. So first stamina roll, difficulty of 6, right? Normal.
Difficulty of 6. What form are you in? Are you in Glabro or are you in?
I'm just. I was just in human. So I'm in the middle of town. I'm in the middle of a hotel.
Okay.
2.
2 successes. All right, you're fine. You just get thrown again as you're carrying him. You get almost like like you feel something violently push you against the wall, trying to push you down the stairs.
Okay, that was the first one, and the second one's 3.
And 3, based off of the fact of you being a stargazer, you get pushed, but you're able to kind of roll with it down the stairs and not lose your balance, basically.
I have like one of those balance gifts too, I think. Do I have balance itself?
But you feel yourself being violently being pushed, and you definitely sense some sort of angry, very extremely angry spirit that is right on your tail.
Okay.
As you run downstairs, roll your no, you don't have to roll. You see the bar, behind the bar, all the bottles and all the glasses start to vibrate. Do
I remember, is Joe afraid of horses, or is he liking horses? I remember it was one or the other.
He likes horses. Horses are afraid of sag, though.
Okay.
He really likes horses, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Don't we have like horses that our pack can use, like in the back of Phil's place or something?
Yeah.
It seems like we're always getting horses from somewhere.
Gotta pay for
them. You see all of a sudden one of the
so I'm running toward where we have our horses.
Yeah. One of the liquor bottles explodes, and a couple more start to explode. Roll your stamina a couple times as you're running through the saloon.
Gotta pay for it. That's going to be the real tragedy of this episode. How much money I'm going to lose.
Is Joe in your place?
Yeah, he lives upstairs.
Yeah. Okay. So 1 success in the first roll, and
2 successes.
2
All right.
successes on the second roll.
All right. Take 3 points of non-aggravated damage as glasses and all the glassware, the mirror behind the bar, all shatter and spray almost like aim towards you. Actual Joe screams out in pain too, and he keeps saying, "Woo, you gotta do something." He goes, "The voices are after me again. The voices are after me again." And you get successfully. You're out of the bar with him over your shoulder.
Okay. Don't worry, buddy. We're getting someplace safe.
His eyes get big.
We're gonna go see the horses.
His eyes get big as he looks outside, and sees the storm off in the south, slowly approaching.
Yeah. That's why we have to run, buddy. Get you away from that. And I'm booking towards the stable where we keep our horses.
All right, you book towards the stable.
Yeah.
And you are you guys on 2 separate horses or the same horse?
Just one horse. I don't trust him to be on a horse by himself.
Okay.
I'm just gonna throw him on a horse and I don't know. I guess the back of the saddle would probably be best.
Okay. Roll your charisma subterfuge one more time as you're talking to him.
And instead of minus 2 difficulty.
Yeah, it'll be difficulty of a 6 since she succeeded the first row.
Okay, so then I difficulty before then?
Yep. All right, 2 successes. All right. As you you go ahead and tell me what you're saying to him to calm him down.
Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm just going to tell him a story. And it'll just be like and it'll just be like one of those stories that just kind of like never ends.
Mm-hmm.
So and then about 2 friends going off on an adventure together, and riding the same horse, and then it'll just kind of keep going. So and then this happened, and then that happened.
Okay.
And then they saw that, and I'll try to make it fun and like lighthearted, and just kind of constantly telling the story. The 2 friends on the same horse.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. So you take off out of Gold Springs, and as you ride off with Gold Springs, Sag, you are already with Nana Boshar and Nana Boshar and the 2 Anasazi. You guys are ahead.
Bye, guys.
Booking it as fast as possible.
I go in Lupus. That might help a little bit.
Okay. And you say that Nana Boshar kind of puts a gift on everybody to run a lot faster. Mike, roll your you see
stamina to 10.
You see a stagecoach
Faceless man.
Actually not a stagecoach. You see 4 horses approach from outside of town.
All right.
And on those horses are these 4 women on the bottom left.
Oh, lovely.
I recognize them. They ought to be really happy right now.
You see Madam Givens. Roll your perception empathy.
Luckily, I'm a very empathetic man.
Difficulty of a 6.
I don't need to know empathy to know this is her fault.
Look at that empathy.
Look at that. You see, you first see her turn, like, eyes a little bit wide with surprise, looking towards the wagon that Ben Grabish came in on, and she just smiles wildly, and then she kind of chuckles to herself, and then she looks, and then you see Woo's good friend there. What's her name? I didn't pull up that. Should have had that open already.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've ever. Well, no, we met them briefly when we were going to the Harrogate.
Yeah, and you knew them from.
I knew Madam Givens, not the other three.
Right, you didn't. You weren't. Oh, that was the. Was that the episode you missed? The one in the barn.
That was one of the ones I missed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jacinda is the Ragabash that I was talking.
You see Jacinda kind of touch her arm on Madam Givens and points out towards on the other side of the other side of the town over the river at the distant Harrogate, the town.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Madam Givens like smile wildly.
Yeah, now just so I understand, but I imagine their arrival is going to change everything, but Ben and I were originally just going to try to save who we could in the town and Harrogate, right? Because the Maelstrom's coming right for us.
Yeah.
All right, I'll head over to the group.
Okay. Jacinda looks at you and she says, it looks like you might need some help.
Yeah, perfect timing. Madam Givens, like I said, timing is impeccable. I'd like to thank you all for being part of the Gold Springs Volunteer Brigade to evacuate the town. And yeah, let's get to work.
Ben Grabish, he kind of like looks off over the balcony further south, and he says, "We're not going to have time to get out of here. Your hotel room has a basement.
Mm-hmm.
My room has a basement. I think the other hotels have basements."
Yeah, how close is the Maelstrom right now?
By now it's probably about an hour away, but it seems that the winds now is picking up is a little bit stronger.
So what he's saying, pretty much, we don't have time to get people out of town. We just need to get what shelter we can.
Anybody with a fast horse could probably get out.
Which is not counting the majority of these people.
I would probably say maybe about 5% of the town could probably. You see some other people have kind of like already are packing up and like wagons and stuff, but they see this is kind of par for the course. They don't know this is any different than a major storm coming through.
All right. All right, Ben, go to Harrogate, see if you could get anyone in there out or to shelter. Givens and friends, and no offense, I don't remember your names. But yeah, we need to go through town and try to get anyone who we can into basements. Once the Maelstrom's pass, if you want to tour Harrogate, I'll be glad to give it to
you. As you guys do that, they kind of take notice. Sag.
Yeah.
Fast forward to you. You guys are getting in towards the getting in towards the mine. You see all right, let me get that going.
Is there a Garal there to help us?
I'm trying to think where she would be right now. But Sacred Ghost is probably no, he's going to be there.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, make sure.
You as you arrive, so it's you that, and you see the two Anasazi immediately as you guys go down. They immediately start setting up shop on either end of the on either side of the Harrogate. You see both of them turn to their Pithis form, which is their Hispo spider, basically, where they turn into a giant spider. And you see the okay, who's with you? Nana Boshar's there as well. She looks over at you, Bob, and she says, once we open this, it's going to be different on the other side. It's not going to be what we saw before because we fixed that.
All right. What's the game plan here? I get out of the way. The storm flies into there. They sew behind it. I keep them alive until they can be done, and then that's it.
And hopefully nothing comes out.
Okay, so I should watch for that too. All right.
She begins the ritual to open up the gate. And the other one, a couple of the Silver Fangs are there with her too. This guy, what's the name of the? Yeah, Pimenov is there. This guy. He's there too. He was the old right master, the Silver Fang right master. So, and you see, Brian,
Yes.
as you're riding your horses, roll your stamina 2 times.
Have I healed any of that?
You've healed up your non-aggravated already. Yeah.
Okay. Let me just put that back to 0 real quick. It's good to be a werewolf. Stamina twice.
Technically, I think you have to be in a different form, but
Really? You can't heal in human form?
I don't know if you can.
I thought you could.
Maybe.
So 1 success for the first stamina roll. And yeah, but Woo is just that cool.
Yeah.
Barney, I'm summoning the steel fur and I'm spending a willpower.
All right, go for it. All right, 2 successes, 1 success. Wow, holy shit. Okay.
All right, I am prepped.
What does that do? Does that give you 7 extra, or that's just you just activate it?
It gives me 7 extra.
Holy shit.
That's a phenomenal roll.
Yeah,
that is.
The difficulty's 7, Barney.
Look at that shit.
I get a name after this adventure, I think.
Yeah, that's amazing. All right. I don't think Sag's gonna die tonight, no matter how I do.
Probably not.
All right.
Seven more opportunities to roll a 1.
All right. So as you're riding up, you get thrown off the horse. You get this huge punch from the side. The horse.
I have balance.
All right. Is that something you have to activate, or you just always have it?
It's just always on. No expenditure roll. Difficulties for balance are reduced by 3.
Okay. So the horse falls over. You probably
fuck you. The horse goes up.
that you nimbly probably just elegantly just kind of land on your feet. You see that the side of the horse kind of caves in, and the horse stumbles a bit and falls down, blood coming out of its mouth. Some sort of invisible force pushed it.
Ooh. How is Joe?
Joe's shaking and freaking out. Roll your no.
Did he get hurt?
You start to see his face kind of fade away. You almost too. It looks like almost actual Joe starts to seem to get taller, almost. And he's shaking his head violently, almost like his arms and legs are elongating a bit.
Oh crap. Do I have any idea what's happening with him?
You, what's your intelligence?
2. I have 2 in intelligence and 2 in occult.
Roll your intelligence occult, difficulty of a 10 minus your gnosis.
10 minus my gnosis, so that'd be a 6. Intelligence. Oh. One success.
From what you're gathering, probably his ba is forcibly re-entering his body.
How far are we from the mine?
You're right, almost close to it.
Okay. I will.
And if you remember, he's basically actual Joe has forgotten himself so much that he's kind of like lapsed into some schizophrenia now as well, where his ba is actively fighting against him. His ba, remember, is that tall, faceless man.
Okay. I will mind. I'll reach out to mind speak with Bob.
Okay.
I got to spend a willpower for that one.
All right. And you see actual Joe like shaking and his body's elongating, and you hear a different voice coming out of him, like almost like he's possessed. Yeah. And he's like shaking his head and saying, get out of me, get out of me.
So when I see this, I'm reaching out to mind speak to Bob.
Okay.
I tell him where we're at, and I tell him that some weird mummy stuff is happening with Joe. Send out a Thurge to help me.
I just was one of the silver fangs there, and just saying, Garu, Wu needs a Thurge help. The mummy, our actual Joe, is giving him problems.
And there's some kind of invisible force trying to stop us from getting in the mine and kill the horse.
There's a spirit stopping them from trying to get into the mines.
Nana Boshar looks over at Pimenov and she says, you know this better than I do. I know you don't know anything about this shit, mummy, that's happening. Nana Boshar turns Lupus and her gray wolf, because she's old, she gallops up the cavern stairs, the cavern in the cave. Mike, The wind picks up. As the wind picks up, roll your willpower, difficulty of a 5.
Don't fail, don't fail.
At this point, everybody's kind of like good job, man.
I'm on fire tonight.
You are.
I've never
something
seen you
crazy.
roll like this, Mike.
You see, at this point, all of the townsfolk have gathered. Are more or less safe.
All right.
The storm starts to whip. You feel utter and complete dread coming from the rain, almost as if the rain is salty to the taste, almost as if it is made of like the tears of millions of trapped souls. Through the storm, and all of a sudden there's a loud crash, there's a loud crash, and you see one of the buildings get ripped up and fall down.
All right. So I'm in Gold Springs right now, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to run to the restroom real quick.
All right.
It might be a perception alertness roll, but right now is when I'd be taking a look around, seeing what else really needs to be done.
Okay. You see, as the wind's whipping through, you make out. All right, you're on your perception. Good.
Just because. Okay, my first not great roll, but that's still not bad. I'll take it.
All right. You guys, you see 2 successes. As the lightning is striking you and the gray clouds are rolling through, you make out what looks like almost like a hazy black giant tentacle thing rip apart another house and crash, and almost as if it's like crawling over the town.
All right. So this definitely looks like a physical thing and not part of the storm, right?
But then it looks like it's the storm. It plays with your eyes.
I think if I'm playing up the flaw curious, that's when I have to. I'll try to find something that gives me some shelter, but it's not one of the basements, and just keep observing to see what's happening here.
Okay.
Make sure there's no people running around, no one running and screaming. Take a look over to Harrogate. Try to be sure there's no one out there, but mostly just, what the hell was that?
You see, all of a sudden you make out and you see a little girl holding a teddy bear, screaming, crying, asking for a mom, asking for her mother.
That's a trap.
She's like, "Mommy," and she's crying. Roll your intelligence. Roll your intelligence. Hey, Chris Sagovac joined the video call.
Yeah, I suddenly blinked out.
Your intelligence craftsmanship?
Intelligence alertness. Difficulty of a 6.
This is like the little girl in Karate Kid 2. Everyone forgot she was up in the ladder.
Oh, right.
3. That was a great movie.
You recognize her as the daughter of the tailor.
To be fair, the tailor wasn't that good. All my clothes came in a little too tight.
Yeah, he made those puffy shoulders for you, and you love those. The puffy arms.
I did forget about the puffy arms. So yeah, we'll try to run and save her.
You see her mother screaming at her, it's like, "Come over here, hey, over here!" And like in one of the basement windows, and she's just crying. You as she's crying, you see you make out. You see off in the corner. You see it looks like some sort of it looks like it's some sort of dog skeleton, but it has gills where on its neck, but the gills are made out of rib cages, and it's kind of breathing in and out with it, and it's kind of like hunched around the corner. It's like and almost like hunched, like crawling towards the kid, the little girl.
All right, I summon Bob.
Everybody needs Bob. What do you do?
I'll run to the girl first.
All right. What form are you in?
We'll be Glabro for now.
Okay. All right. You run to the girl just in time as a dog leaps up, and it leaps towards your face instead of the girl's back.
Oh, great.
Sag.
Yeah.
You appear in Gold Springs.
If they're opening the gate, I'll probably face the gate for the moment because I'll hear something coming down the mines.
Okay.
I'm ready for what's going to come through.
The gates opened up, and you see inside the gate a long, like just gray fog. And the gray fog starts to motion and move a bit, kind of seeping out like dry ice coming out of the gate. And it's just like a gray cloud, this gray fog.
I come up closer to the gate purely because I don't want to get overrun.
Okay. You peer in, and it looks like it's just like a gray country road, but not any like an old country like Scotland or Britain or something. It's a dirt road that is full of it looks like it's full of this like twigs and woods, old growth woods that are in there, something from like a grim fairy tale almost.
I'll look down to the Silver Fang for a second.
Any
ideas?
He says in Garu with a Russian accent, he goes, "That's a pathway to the atrocity realm."
All right.
Brian.
Yes.
I'm
going to go into Glabro, by the way.
Okay. You get into Glabro form, and then a Boshar comes up and stops at you and look at Lupus, and Actual Joe is shaking violently on the floor, and her eyes get wide, and she says, "We got to get him down here now. We got to get him out of here now." There's see the
spirit
storm
attacking. I'll grab him with the spirit.
She says, "All right." takes you and brings you. She goes. She brings you into the as you step sideways, into the Shadowlands, and you see in the Shadowlands, you see the faceless man stretching open.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, Madam Boshar took us into the Shadowlands?
She took you into the Shadowlands because that's what you said. You
No.
said you wanted to see the spirit. Oh, okay.
No, that's not what I said at all.
Oh, okay.
I said I need her. I said I will get him into the mine. I need you to deal with the spirit.
Okay.
Yeah, I got really confused. And at the same time, it glitched, so I got really confused what was happening.
Okay, so she steps sideways. You see her disappear.
All right. I grab Joe and throw him over my shoulder, and start running.
Okay. He's shaking violently. Sag, as you get to, you see off in the, you see coming down, you see Wu in glabro form with an elongated version of actual Joe shaking.
Okay.
What do you do with him?
And we chuck him through.
You see you see the wind starting to pick up a bit. Nana Boshar collapse. It comes out of the Shadowlands, bloodied and unconscious. Both of you guys roll your rage difficulty of an 8.
Temporary or permanent?
Permanent.
Okay. Oh, it's the same. Okay. Difficulty of an 8.
Correct.
Oh.
All right, you're fine.
You said what? Difficulty of an 8?
Difficulty of an 8.
All right. Hey there.
Ah, perfect. Ooh. No, this was you didn't want to succeed on this.
Oh, okay.
It was a rage check.
Yeah.
You are completely passive right now, Bob. You see Nana Boshar is completely unconscious. You guys see actual Joe stretch out into a giant tall form. And both of you guys roll your willpower.
Where are we at right now? Are we by the
next
gate?
to near the gate?
Okay. Roll willpower.
Difficulty.
Difficulty of 7. You need 2 successes.
Can my code of honor help me with this?
What does code of honor do?
I've never used it because I would have done pretty well. I believe it gives you bonuses to things that like it's about resisting things that would put me in conflict with my code.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll. I'll keep that in mind.
Okay. So what was it? Willpower?
Yeah. Difficulty of a 7. You need 2 successes.
Oh, I got it.
Wow. Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, we both got 2 successes.
You guys see you see actual Joe turn around. His beard's gone. He looks he has the insane eyes. And he says something in a language you've never heard before. And turned and starts starts to run back up the stairwell, up the stone steps.
I go to grab him.
All right, roll Dex Brawl. And what are you doing, Brian?
Yeah, I will. Without hurting him, I'm going to try to grab him and stop him as well.
Take him down.
All right, you do. Make your rolls. Mike,
I'll throw him down if I have to.
All right, you guys roll. Mike, what are you rolling?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Dex.
Well, right now I have the thing attacking me, right?
Yeah, but you can go first if you want to.
7.
Best defense is a good offense.
All right, what are you doing?
We'll give it a big smack right on the nose.
All right, roll Dex Brawl.
You got 2, Barney.
Okay, can roll. You're damaging him, or are you just dragging him, or just holding him?
I'm trying to just hike it, or grab him, and then I'm gonna run him up and toss him through the gate. But this is just for a grab, I guess.
All right, so you grab him. So make a strength roll. It's a straight strength roll. All right, Phil.
Helping out.
Okay.
With 2 successes to help.
All right. 2 successes.
Trying to lock him up with a Kailindo technique.
All right.
3 on strength.
All right, you guys are able to hold him. He's surprisingly strong. Like, and what form? You're in Krenos, correct, Sag?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my resting is 9.
Okay. He is.
And I was in Glabro.
All right. Yeah, he's surprisingly strong for a stick figure-looking, tall, lithe. So he basically now has the face of actual Joe with the body of the faceless man.
Is he like grabbing onto something?
It's like, football where the guy has the ball and he's still running to the end zone.
Oh, okay.
And people are grabbing a whole, he's basically he's walking on a crawl. He's not making much. He's making maybe a couple inches instead of feet or yards because of the successes you guys got.
But he's wrapped up by me, right?
Right.
I just give him a headbutt. Rattle his cage.
All right. Go ahead, do that. It'll be easier to make. It'll be easier to succeed because you're right there.
Okay, so Dex Brawl at a 5 or
yeah. And all right, Mike, you got 3 successes.
Yeah, only 2 damage though, so that probably won't do much.
It's enough to block it. You see off in the distance, you see in Harrogate, you see the mayor. Do you remember the mayor, the Cairn spirit?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. He you see him holding off the storm, almost like he's creating this invisible wall that's kind of holding off the storm a bit. You see Hardstone fighting off some sort of like it looks like this many-armed humanoid-looking bony-tailed giant thing. Mm-hmm. You see the Black Furies fighting as well. Different spirits have come out. Go ahead, Mike. Roll your stamina. Roll your willpower first. Difficulty of a 6, and then roll your stamina.
I'll spend a willpower just because I'm getting a little worried about these.
You can't spend a willpower to roll your willpower.
Well, that's bullshit.
It's like a perpetual motion machine. It just doesn't work like that.
There's got to be a roll, Barney.
All right, so willpower 4.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, your gnosis may suck, but your willpower is great. You hear people crying, and you just see things happening, and you just feel utter dread, but it doesn't affect you at all.
I don't care for people. And
Wasn't
stamina.
there supposed to be some other character supposed to come help our asses out?
Yeah, but we knew that'd be bullshit coming in.
You had some of the Thurges.
Now, what happened is they remember that I cheated in the poker game. I'm like, yeah, fuck those guys. And a stamina roll, Barney?
Yeah, roll your stamina. Difficulty of a 6. Take 1 point of aggravated damage as the actual storm injures you.
All right.
Like the actual storm.
The actual storm. But the good news is that skeletal dog wolf thing doesn't do any damage to you.
That's good.
It bites onto the side of your neck, but it doesn't get in a good bite.
Gotta hold it down longer, baby.
All right.
Took the door.
And you got how many successes, Bob, to headbutt?
4.
4 successes, and what's your damage on that?
What's that? I didn't roll damage yet. Is that like plus 1?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Strength plus 1.
If his headbutt doesn't drop him, I'm going to use Falling Touch next.
Okay.
But I'll wait and see what his headbutt does.
Do Falling Touch anyway.
Okay.
Let's see.
Let me see what I have to roll for that. What's his stamina plus athletics?
Its stamina plus athletics is, I'll say 8.
Damn.
Well, now he's in his mummy, he's.
I'm gonna loophole this too, Barney. I'm spending 2 rage.
All right. Whoa! What's the 8 successes to headbutt him?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Oh man!
For the damage.
8 successes to headbutt.
It was 4 to headbutt, 8 for the damage, right?
8 for the damage.
Yeah.
Well, you just smash his skull if actual Joe falls down dead.
Yeah. So remember, mummies are human, basically, that just have powerful magic, but still.
And 1 success for the Falling Touch.
That's all you need is just 1 success. All right. You headbutt him. He collapses. You see as he collapses, you see his body just revert back to human form, completely unconscious, and you see the faceless man emerge out of the body in a corporeal form. You've never seen him in actual in form. He's always seen him you've always seen him in the Shadowlands, but never here.
Oh shit! The faceless man is just all right. I immediately go to Krenos.
Okay.
You also see blood leaking out of Joe's nose and eye.
Did I just kill Joe?
You see the thing kind of open up the side of his face, almost like the Canadians in South Park, but he has sharp teeth, and he hisses something in ancient dead language at all of you. Roll your stamina. Both of you roll your stamina.
So that is
So Mike, you seem on the side, you're kind of getting a little impressed with how well the mayor is holding off the entire storm. Remember, he's like the equivalent of like a Jagling. He's an extremely powerful Cairn spirit. 2 successes, Woo, and 8 successes to soak, Bob. Is that what you rolled? God damn, I forgot about that. Woo, you take 2 points of aggravated damage as he says something and his voice actually penetrates your skin. His voice actually penetrates your skin. And it seems like this, when he speaks, this something clenches your heart. You almost feel like an invisible hand clenches over your heart and starts to squeeze it.
Since I spend rage, do I get a movement?
Yep.
I'm going to use True Fear on him. I'm just going to stare him down and hit Strength, Intimidation, difficulty of his willpower.
All right. Difficulty of his willpower, so difficulty of an 8. All right, you're doing that. Phil, you see the girl scream as the dog, and she kind of like looks up at you with your eyes, and your Phil Ragabash eyes. It's probably the kindest thing she's seen in the last 5 minutes. And she sees the dog, like a skeletal dog, gnawing on your neck, not doing any damage.
I'm going to spend a willpower, Barney.
All right. What do you do, Mike?
Would I be able to use strength athletics to get the dog like further away from her?
Yeah.
So at least she could go somewhere.
Yeah. Her mother's motioning to her through one of the windows in the basement.
All right, yeah, then I won't try to do any damage. It's just pure strength and athletics, or whatever you want, just to get him further away from the basement and the people.
All right, roll. 4 successes on...
5 with the willpower. He is cowed for 5 turns. That he cannot attack, though he may defend himself if attacked and otherwise act normally. Though actions will be guided by fear.
Okay. You see the faceless man crumple like with his knees up to his face, and he's grabbing the actual Phil's unconscious body and holding it close like a rag doll, and he's hissing at both of you.
Then what I do is I get in between him and the doorway, and I stomp at him. I don't like hit him, but I'm like, so there's only one way to go.
Okay.
Smart.
And what do you do, Woo?
He's seen me. I think Woo's seen me do this before to somebody. So I look at Woo like, I say, don't attack him, scare him. And Gary.
I'll follow Bob's lead. And, I'm in Krenos now, so I'm like growling and snapping to push them towards the Harrow Gate.
All right. Suddenly, you guys feel the wind of the storm coming down. Both of you roll your stamina difficulty of a roll your willpower first, difficulty of a 6, and then roll your stamina difficulty of a 6. We get that. Mike, you got 4 successes. Would role play it out? What do you do?
Just kind of wrap my arms around the dog as it's biting into me. Get my legs under me and just like start pushing it for. Maybe even trying to push it into the storm itself.
Okay. But the storm's all around you.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the strongman things where you see them like, just start putting their feet under them and step, and get some momentum going. Okay.
All right. You doing that, and you see all of a sudden an arrow out of nowhere.
Hits me in the eye. Game over.
Puncture goes through the skull of the thing. and roll your gnosis.
Oh, that's not a good one. Can I spend a willpower on gnosis?
No, don't worry about this. I wouldn't want you to waste it.
Okay.
This is more for an It's more of an observational thing than anything else.
Come on, big money, big money, big money. Yeah.
You see the arrow go into the skull of this skeletal dog creature, and explodes. And the arrow explodes as it hits, and you, with your gnosis roll, you sense pure, unmitigated, wild energy coming from the pieces of the arrow. You look over and you see Madame Givens is nonchalantly next to the wagon that Ben Grabish had, and you see that she is pulling another arrow out from inside the Greek statue. A Greek statue.
I'll do like just a little hat tip type thing, even if I'm not wearing a hat. Unless she was aiming for me.
Yeah, you see the and you see the Black Furies with some renewed vigor start attacking. You see these like snake-like creatures flying through the air, like these skeletal snake-like creatures that they seem to be jumping off, like in hispo form, attacking and pulling down from the air. You see, other creatures coming through. Roll your willpower again and your stamina. All right, and back to Bob and Wu, your willpower and your stamina. You both succeeded in your willpower roll, so you guys are fine. But you guys feel this. You feel the storm now coming through you. 4 successes, Bob. You don't take anything. Wu, 1 success. Take 2 more points of aggravated damage. This is now coming from the storm itself, as it rips through your skin.
Does the growling and stuff move him at all?
A little bit. He's kind of backing up a bit.
Right. I'm just gonna.
And you got 4 successes on that, correct?
5.
5 successes. Okay.
He's cold for 5 turns.
Okay. He's backing up and he's holding actual Joe almost like a shield. And actual Joe is completely. You're not sure if he's dead or unconscious but he's completely limp.
I am then going to. How far is he away from the gate?
I would say maybe about 10 yards.
Okay.
30 feet.
We just invented football, Woo. I just look over to him. I go, "Don't let him get out," and I'm gonna try and stuff him through. And I'll spend 2 rage. And I'll run straight at him.
Okay.
If he runs away from me, that'll work as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and pick him up and throw him through the gate.
All right. Roll strength brawl.
Strength what?
Strength brawl. Yeah.
While he's doing that, I'm running towards the gate to act as a backup, but depending on how the throw goes.
And keep in mind that your actual Joe who trusts you, I'm not sure, how does Wu feel seeing that his...
Oh, I've been keeping this in mind.
Okay.
But we got to get him to the gate first.
All right. And Mike, take 2 points of aggravated damage from the storm.
All right.
That was your one success, your stamina, correct?
Correct. Yeah, 3 on willpower.
And your 3, yeah, your willpower, you're fine. You guys are willful motherfuckers here.
Barney, can I ask you for a reminder of the overall game plan? So the plan was to get actual Joe through the gate. The storm would follow through, and then once the storm followed through, the Anasazi would like shut the gate closed with their stuff, so the storm couldn't come back.
Yeah.
All right.
To close, because this storm is in the process of ripping a hole through the gauntlet.
Okay. So if the storm goes through the gate, there's nothing to actually stop it from coming right back again.
There's nothing from. Yes.
It's going into the atrocity realm.
Yeah.
But the storm could come back through the gate again, though, right?
No, not if you close it.
Not if you close it. Okay.
Think of it as a vacuum.
Okay.
And the plan's working out now. You see, the storm is actually, it's now attacking actual Joe. Actual Joe is the where the storm wants to come to. And you see actual Joe's limp body is getting hit.
Okay. This bastion face.
All right, Bob, you got 3 successes to
grab him. Well, to grab him.
To grab him. All right, you grab him. Go for it. Roll strength. Strength to throw him. And we do that. Roll your stamina as well.
Roll stamina.
Yep. Roll your stamina.
All right.
6 for the strength.
And Mike, you're in the midst of the storm is now ripping apart. You see roofs coming off of buildings now. You hear screams. You see different Garu. You see Hardstone fighting valiantly. He's in Krinos form now. You see the Black Furies are doing as much as they can. You see Madam Givens notching another arrow and just shooting at the biggest things, and they make these bizarre explosions when they hit of like pure wild energy, like emits off of the exploded arrow.
All right. Since Madam Givens appears to be doing the most damage, I'll shift to Krinos and move to cover her.
Okay. All right. 0 successes on your stamina roll.
Yeah, this might be Woo's last game.
What are you at now?
I am at wounded.
Wounded. All right, yeah, you're gonna go below incapacitated on this, and you'll have to roll your, you have to roll your rage.
Battle scar, woo!
Scar. Bob, absolutely nothing happens to you.
God, the storm's gonna rip my dick off.
Does the 6 help me put him through?
The 6 definitely. You see, basically what happens, Woo, is that you collapse. As you're collapsing and as you're blacking out, you see silver. You're a shiny iron Krinos pick up the faceless man that's cradling his form of actual Joe, and just unceremoniously just tossing it in through the Harrogate. And the storm whips past you, ripping over your fur again. And it just, as a bulwark, like a rock in a rock in a strong storm, and the storm itself bounces off and around Bob's like shining fur. shiny metal fur.
I could use some of that, my shiny metal fur. What's my rage difficulty?
Roll your rage difficulty of a 6. Every success is a heal.
Nothing.
You're still incapacitated. So you pass out, basically.
Yeah, all aggravated too.
Yeah. As a storm whips through, it picks up Bob. You see Wu completely tattered. It looks like he's not dead, but it looks like he's
grab him so he doesn't like get picked up by the wind and tossed through the hole.
Okay.
Is there any more Thurges in there?
The Nana Boshar is unconscious as well.
Is the Silver Fangs in there?
The Silver Fangs he looks like he's doing fine by himself.
Okay. Well, what basically all I do is throw the bodies to the Thurge, basically take care of it. So yeah, I roll Wu over. And
okay.
How are the spider women faring?
They're both in Pithis form. They're both in their giant spider form, and they're waiting for the storm to rush through, and then it looks like they're starting to weave some stuff.
Okay.
They look like they are completely getting ripped up a bit too, but they show no emotion, fear, or signs of anything. But you do see like part of them getting ripped apart.
I block one of them completely then.
Okay. All right.
Bob just picks at random. If one looks like they're having the worst time, he just will stand in front.
All right. This as a storm rushes through. Go ahead. Sag, roll your stamina 2 more times. You're the only one that's actually getting it's the only one that's left that's like getting hit in the storm. Mike, roll your stamina 1 more time.
Oh, the luck finally ends.
All right, take 2 more points of aggravated.
That's only crippled.
Only crippled. And
I wish I was only crippled.
The storm finally rushes out through, and the storm finally rushes out through, and you see it just got really quiet all of a sudden. The spiders finish sewing it up, sewing up the gauntlet basically, and the Harrowgate's closed. There's no sign of actual Joe. There's no sign of the tall faceless man. Brian, you heal up 2 points of damage. Nana Boshar is a little bit healed up as well. What do you two do in the cavern?
Lie there.
I just say, is it done?
Nana Boshar says, I think we did our part. Now we have to see if the whole town is destroyed.
Did Joe make it back through?
I don't think that was possible.
Damn it. I was going to try to pull him back through once the storm was in.
You see the two Anasazi turn to their Hamid form. They say, Viola says, we did our part. We need to go back to where we came from.
I nod.
She looks at you, Bob, and says, if Phil is still alive, tell him I'll see him again someday.
It's likely he is.
And they split up into their crawling forms. 1,000 spiders turn into 1,000 spiders, and they just crawl out. What do you guys do?
Now, shall we get back?
Yeah.
I feel like hammered horse shit.
Mike, Phil.
Yo.
The storm passes. You see the whole place is just leveled. Pretty much. There's a few standing places, but there's not much.
I'll probably be shifting to back to Glabro and just still laying on the ground.
You see over the river, you see Hardstone look at you kind of forlorn, in a forlorn, what's the word I'm looking for? Forlorn? What am I trying to say?
Forlorn.
Forlorn, yeah, there we go. In like kind of a forlorn manner, like, what are we going to do with all these humans kind of look? And because he's a lupus red talon and his job is to protect the cairn. You see the mayor desperately trying to weave some sort of something to put the Harrogate hiding again.
Mm-hmm.
You see some people starting to mill out, about to look around at the damage.
It's like a lot of pain right now.
Around about this time, people are picking up the pieces. You see Wu and Nana Boshar and Bob coming, kind of following the river back down to Gold Springs. You too see pretty much the town looks destroyed. Harrogate looks like it's a much better place. There's a few ripped shingles, a couple of the small outposts. The outhouses look like they've been attacked by shitter wolves, but other than that, Gold Springs definitely looked like it's taken the brunt of the damage, and probably because it wasn't as mystically protected as Harrogate was. What do you guys do?
Hey guys, I guess it went well.
Your lady friend said she'll see you again.
That's good. I'm kind of almost dead here.
Huh?
Kind of almost dying here.
What is?
I know the feeling.
No, but you guys
fucking Bob here doesn't have a scratch on him.
Yeah, the only damage I have was from last adventure, and that was aggravated.
I'm gonna need to learn how to do that.
You get the troll skin or you get the steel skin. Lots of different ways to fend off damage. It was just a storm, though. Not like it was silver bullets or claws or anything.
Nana Boshar looks straight past all of you and looks towards Madame Givens. And Madame Givens makes eye contact with Nana Boshar, and she smiles widely.
I wave at Jacinda.
Yeah.
Madam Gibbons can shoot a bow. That's impressive.
Nana Boshar looks to you guys and she says low enough to just only you can hear it. She goes, "We need to get back to the cairn right away."
All right. I'll kind of stumble up and follow her.
Yeah.
She walks at a kind of a good pace and goes over the shallow part of the river where there's no bridge, but there's that shallow part of that river that you guys have walked over before. And as you guys are walking over, you see, Madame Given seems to nonchalantly kind of, with her Black Furies, keeping a wide pace, kind of following you. And the mayor has you all come in. He kind of waves you in a bit, and he kind of like picks up his stick and he kind of like draws a line on the outskirts of Harrogate, facing Gold Springs. Madam Givens kind of turns her head a bit and smiles and nonchalantly kind of walks over the river, not over the river, but through the river where you guys walked. And she smiles at the mayor, and you, everybody roll your perception empathy.
You got this, Chris.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty of a 6.
Oh, I forgot to take away 2 dice. Let me re-roll that.
Oh yeah,
you got 1 success. If you just take 2 dice, just make it. Oh, you have 1 success. That's fine. Okay. Phil, 4 successes. Good job. Okay.
I also forgot the 2 dice thing.
That's fine. Bob and Wu, with that 1 success, you, as I say, the mayor is an extremely powerful cairn spirit. You sense the equivalent of fear. Spirits don't really have like that, but you sense the equivalent of fear from him as he's staring at Madame Givens. With 4 successes, Phil, you sense history between the two, and you're not quite sure why. Madame Givens walks a little bit closer, but not too close. And
I get into an aggressive stance then.
Okay.
Just because it was more of like I look at what's going on, and I don't really have any context or history or whatsoever. But I'm like, Karen spirit.
I'll actually step in between the mayor and Madame Gibbons and kind of get myself together and say, we made an agreement with other cairns that we would fight this awful thing together. And where are they? We offered up one of our own Ghetto Fenris brothers for the sake of the allegiance. And where are they? Who was here? Who helped fight the monsters? And I look at Gibbons and three with her, the 3 worlds with her, and I say, as far as I can see, someone earned the right to cross that line, step over that line.
Nana Boshar looks at you and she says, "You have no idea what is about to happen." You see Madam Givens wave her hand in the air. You see the mayor. You see the mayor suddenly like get transformed into a bird, and a cage forms around him, like a bird cage.
Uh-oh.
And she smiles and she says, "Mother's home." And scene. Next season.
Yeah. So I guess I should open the box next season.
You said there was going to be like a denouement episode, didn't you? Or is this it?
The what?
Didn't you say there was going to be like a denouement episode?
Denouement?
Or like a wrap-up episode after today?
No.
This is it?
This is it.
Oh, okay.
No.
Should I be opening the box now or save it for later?
Now it's too late. Now you gotta wait to what happens next season. You gotta wait till September now. So remember, Madam Givens, since season 1, has been trying to find Harrogate. All right.
What's our experience?
Everyone give yourself 5 experience. And let's see, for Glory.